Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we get into anything serious, let's find out what these verses actually say. Enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way, that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because strait is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. We can see here that Jesus Christ mentioned two gates. One we should enter, and one we should certainly not. So what's wrong with that other gate? Jesus Christ described it as wide, where the majority is, and leads to destruction. The characteristics of people in this way were described in Galatians chapter 5, verses 19 to 21, where St. Paul told us, "Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations," and the verse goes on and on. Those who have these characteristics in the broad way are accepted. They can be whoever they want, and they're okay. This is the view of the world we live in today, as described in 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 3 to 6. That even if you're a lover of money, a fornicator, or anything in the verse previously mentioned, there'll still be a place for you without judgment. Therefore, persecution from others is nowhere to be found. And there was someone who was exactly like this in the Bible, someone who was in this gate, or way, if you could see it like that. And this person was Demas. We see in Philemon chapter 1, verse 24, that Demas was a fellow laborer of Paul. But in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 10, Paul said this, "For Demas hath forsaken me, having loved this present world, and is departed unto Thessalonica." Demas, instead of going through the persecution which is needed in order to be a child of God, see Hebrews chapter 4, verse 11, he instead forsook Paul and went a different way. The majority of the people in the world at his time would have accepted him, though, as they were also in the broad way. Remember, the majority is broad, wide. But the narrow way is the exact opposite of the broad way. The traits that one must have to be in the narrow way were listed in Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 and 23, right after the previous verses 19 to 21. And they say, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law." If we read the Bible, there are a lot of rules we must follow to be counted as godly. If we get married, we must stay married. See Matthew chapter 19, verses 5 to 6. We must not commit fornication. See 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 3. We have to be charitable, love our neighbors, not love money, and so on. We can't be different from that and still be accepted by God. And on top of that, the people in the broad way won't like you, as you don't have the same traits as them as were listed before. And this is what makes the narrow way narrow, because it's hard to be in it. An example of someone who's in the narrow way is Jesus Christ. He faced all sorts of persecution and judgment from others, and was even about to be thrown off a hill in Luke chapter 4, verse 29, but that never deterred him. The world he was living in did not accept him, but Jesus Christ had discipline. He loved God, and understood the plan that God had for not only him, but for the entire world. This is something that the people in the broad way did not have, and that's why when Demas decided to forsake Paul and decided to do something else, Jesus Christ stuck with the plan and then gave his life as a ransom, despite the tauntings he received to do something else in Matthew chapter 27, verse 42. So that's the gate that Jesus Christ asks us to go through, which means that's the end of this video. If you like my content, you can always subscribe or hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of when I post again. Have a great day, and I'd love to see you soon.